Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. So welcome to the quantum realm as we meet my next guest. She is experiencing ascension and multidimensionality in these current energies that we on the planet are experiencing. And we are going to hear from Dr. Edwige, who will also answer your questions on this process. Edwige holds Lemurian templates, and she remembers when she traveled from Lemuria to Lake Titicaca. And if you're not familiar with Dr. Edwige, we invite you to listen to her other previous shows in our archives. Each show is fascinating and contain ascension activations. So welcome back, Dr. Edwige. Welcome to Quantum Conversations.
Well, hello, Loren. Thank you once again. Has this not just become such a joyful experience to come together for this? I love it. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And we were talking about the most current energies and actually where you are today. And you even had an amazing experience. So share with us that.
Oh, my goodness, yes. So it just happened 2 days ago. 2 days ago, as I am in my office preparing to do a session with someone over Skype, you know, when we do the introduction, when I'm saying hello, I usually, if it's on Skype, my camera was on this particular time. And I noticed an orb flying in my room, and so I thought, oh, my goodness, I need to record this. And so I pushed the record button, and all of a sudden, even the client, she said, oh, my goodness, your room, all of a sudden it's filling with white light. And I said, yes, I see it in the camera. And so, you know, I did the session. I was doing the work on her, and I kept looking at the little screen. My room filled completely with white light. There was sacred geometry on the left side of me, sending this beam of energy. I was sitting in a sphere, literally a bubble of energy that had the rainbow colors. You could see that there were hues of green and violet in this sphere of energy that I was sitting in. And then I got lighter and lighter, and I became transparent, and I began to dematerialize. And so I was like, whoa, you know, because I'm not normally sitting there looking at me while I'm doing a session on anyone. In fact, this was the first time after doing over 1,000 sessions. But, oh, my gosh, talk about going to an entirely different level of awareness and abilities and of my level of ascension, right? So, yeah, I was definitely captured by it. And it's just amazing to know that that's where we all eventually will be going. But for me to be in it right now is just awe-inspiring, humbling, and, I mean, yeah, just amazing.
Yes, you are an Ascension Way shower, and your reports match what others are experiencing as well. And it seems like, well, some would call this the solar Christ light.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Think about it. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, and we hold the Christed energy. And so how perfect is to have that, to be in that sphere of light and then to see another sphere above that. So, yeah, I guess that's exactly what it is.
That's
you know,
what you
and what's
saw.
so interesting, I don't even know all the names for all these things. However, I have the video of it all around me.
Wow. Okay, well, that is like an embodiment then of this light coming through you. Would you say you were becoming it? It's an embodiment.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And this process, so understand that there are about 7 initiations you go through for ascension, right?
Yes.
And around the 5th or 6th initiation is where your light body shows up. And that means that you've done enough work. And, you know, we have the online the retreat when we really shared this 3-stage process. And so in that third process, transfiguring, you've done all the work, you've cleared your frequencies, you've raised your frequencies, all of the stuff you no longer tap into, you've become the detached observer, and you're able to really sustain these higher elevated frequencies, and those chakras above your head, all of those chakras are now on. So that opens you for receiving of your light body, and that's somewhere around the 5th, moving into the 6th initiation of this process of ascension. And so now with that light body begins the descension of your monad, which is your I am presence. So that's that Christed energy, because that's the spark. The monad is the spark from source. So that's the highest essence of you, is that spark. Remember, Creator sent out an unnumbered amount of monads, and each monad fit down 12 fingers, and those 12 fingers are the soul extensions. And so that's that highest part, your God self, that then begins the journey down into you. And my light body moved into me September of 2012. We're now into 2016. So it's a 4-year process of getting my light body and my I am presence beginning the descension into me. So remember, I shared the last time and on several occasions my Mount Shasta experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the rays of God moving in, the violet flame moving in, and that's when the beginning of my I am presence started to flow into me, and that was October of 2014. So 2 years. Everything is timed. Everything is going to take what it takes, because you have to adjust to the new energy. So, you know, you're doing the work, you're adjusting where you are, you're raising your vibration, you adjust and assimilate and integrate. And so everything's about tweaking, integrate, tweaking, integrate. And so that's the process. And so my light body moved in. Now we have to integrate. Well, it began the descension, I should say. Now we integrate. And now, last September, when I did that sacred ceremony for 3 days, that spark ignited within my I am presence, that God part that I am turned on within me, and I started speaking that light language. And now, moving through the final energies of the 6th level, and now I'm moving into the 7th, this happening this year, my 54th birthday, which is a 9 for completion. And yes, and my birthday is April 13th. I entered into a 52-day window of Neptune, February 20th, and I am being pulled up. And so hence the white light, the Christ energy, the solar energy filling my room, because now that spark is making its final movement into me as we now meld and become one. So this spark is pulling me up, and all the knowing, the gifts, everything that we have been waiting for then becomes yours, and you're a new reality, and you're pulled up into that highest frequency, and then 21 days later, you descend to where you will be frequency speaking. So it could be the 5th dimension for some, it could be the 7th dimension for some, the 9th dimension. It depends on who you are. And that's where I am. I know. And
the numerology alone with you, this year is a 9-year in general for the planet. And then you are a 9, 54, that 9, and that's a great transition year as well, really moving into your wisdom. I find that so interesting that it just syncs up like that, and you're having these experiences. So,
yeah, and you couldn't plan, well, you know, the other side, I guess we could, but on this side, we couldn't think this up, you know, and it was so amazing to me, because the ceremony that I'll be doing soon, it's so fascinating to me how you just follow the inner guidance, the inner knowing, and then it all adds up to these perfect sequential numbers to do with astrology and sacred geometry and everything, and you're like, wow. who could have thought this up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just really mind-blowing when you sit and really start to think or overthink it. It's like, wow, this is amazing to me.
Yes, and so I do want to take a moment and mention that incredible masterclass that you did with us on the online healing retreat. That was 3 sessions of really intense information, and we just got the transcripts on that. So, wow, that's worthy of a book, and actually a fabulous guide on Ascension. Really powerful. I'm still integrating that personally, so thank you. Just being more aware of recognition of ourselves as spirit, moving into that shift between the percentage that we live and recognize this material, physical world, and then recognize spirit more and more. And so guidance, inner guidance that I've got, it just really expanded a little bit and amplified. So
beautiful.
that
was an amazing 6 hours, right? We took 3 days, 2 hours each day. And I mean, I believe it's part of today's offer. It's so special because, like the listener said, they had not heard or been, given information so thorough and an understanding so clear of this is the process, this is what it looks like, and this is the part of awakening that you need to understand and master, regardless of the modalities you take, regardless of what other things you're doing. This is what it is all about. And so when you understand why you're doing what you're doing and why you're awakening and why there's even this thing of awakening, and then these are the stages that one must traverse, right? Then you can choose those modalities that are going to help you along your journey. But this is the foundation. This is, it's wonderful to really have the blueprint of what this is all about. And I think that's what that is, a blueprint of what Ascension truly is all about.
Yes, so wonderful. All right. So we would love to have an Ascension activation with you this afternoon. And there are people lining up with callers or with questions on the phone line. And then there's some questions coming in. So before we go to your light language activation, let's listen to Silky's from Australia. Her question, she asks, which of the qualities and achievements of Atlantis and Lemuria do we want to bring into the new Earth environment? And which energies from the Atlantean and Lemurian timelines do we need to let go of?
Beautiful question, Silky, and I've done quite a few sessions on her, so hello. Hello. And that's wonderful. And here's what's so easy about that answer. Everything to do with love, everything to do with creating from the space of your heart, everything to do with the Christed energy, where we're of service, where we're kind, where we uplift, where we support. So think about it. That's the personality of the soul, right? To be the detached observer, to have compassion, and to uplift and support. So those are the qualities that we bring with us. We let go of the doubt. We let go of the power struggles that were especially in Atlantis. We let go of this is broke and I have to fix it, right? All of those things not supporting your power in a loving way is what you let go of. And everything that says that the divine is within me and I'm going to have my consciousness be in this space of love, and that's what I'm going to project out to everyone all the time, is what you bring.
Beautiful. Okay. Very empowering. And so there's questions, common questions that still come in. And here's a fun one. Jeannie asks us, are you going to just disappear?
Well, I kind of did 2 days ago.
Yeah. And so you have
Quite
a video of that. And
oh, yes.
And so when you were looking at the video then, what does dematerialization look like? You were just becoming blurry?
Yes. more transparent.
Translucent.
And you could almost see the
Mm-hmm.
furniture behind me as I became transparent. Through me. You could see it through me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the choice is, yes, you can, when you get to that level, you can choose to ascend and go on and move on, or you can choose to stay and be of service. Me, as this cosmic mother, here to usher in the golden age, will stay, but at higher energies and able to bilocate and reappear and you know, disappear and reappear, I guess, since that's what happened. And hopefully at will as I move through this process, and not just, you know, yeah, I mean, wild, I tell you. And quite honestly, it started to happen yesterday. I was doing an interview, and it started to happen, and she's like, oh, my goodness, your room is beginning to fill with light. I'm like, oh, I know where that's leading. Okay. I said, okay, and I stopped it, and I jumped up, and I said, no, clear energy, no, ground, and I opened up all the blinds to get all the sunshine in. It's like, no, we can't do that now, you know. So it's me becoming a master of even that, right? Because it's instant turn on. So it's, as I'm moving through this process, it's learning how to master even this, because, you know, there's a time and a place for everything.
Okay. Well, Velma has a question, and I know that others are feeling this way or could be feeling this way. She says, I feel that my ascension process is at a standstill. Is there anything I can do, or just let it be?
So understand, and this is such an important question for everyone, because, you know, I get emails all the time from people asking, I feel stuck. I know I'm on a precipice. That was the email today, on the precipice of something. And quite honestly, yes, so many are, because remember, we've stepped into a 9-year. So you're feeling the energy of completion. You're feeling and knowing that there's something right there for you. But you have to, again, focus about being in your heart. Focus on giving more attention to you as a spiritual being and less attention to the physical. Tap out of the physical and really, you know, if you are being called to go lay down and to meditate or to do something like that, do that more and more. If you have guides, or if you're in the awareness of, help me clear this next level, right? So that if there's something that you still need to release, it can be released so that you can move across that threshold. So it's you becoming aware of that, and then understanding that your soul is running the show. And so you have to bless it, honor it, and know that you're in the process, and it will unfold as it's supposed to unfold. Guess what? You can't turn back now, and you won't get it wrong. So have more ease, more compassion, more love for yourself.
Yes, it's a beautiful time.
It sure is. And so be in more joy and exuberance and excitement and anticipation, and less of judging, well, you know, is this enough? How much more? Or is there a block? And stop creating those blocks, because, again, remember, we are what we think ourselves to be. So if there's stuff, then you're creating that stuff. So stop creating that stuff.
Okay. Taking responsibility for what we're creating. Stop creating that stuff. Okay. Suzanne has a question. Point Reyes Station. Beautiful. I think that's out in San Francisco. Yes, the beach. Beautiful. She says, how can I best use these energies that are happening right now?
So again, just tap into those energies, right? And wow, right now, for everyone, the energy for me is starting. So just tap into the energy and bring it into your heart, and allow your consciousness to move into that space of your heart, and every day be aware of what it looks like for you and what you're choosing to create and how much you're adding to the light, or are your deeds, your actions, and your words subtracting from the light? So it's about you just becoming mindful that, yes, these energies are coming in, and now I allow these energies to move into me, to create from me, and the excess energy I send to the Divine Mother Earth, and I allow that energy to come in and create that sphere, that beautiful bubble of energy around me, and I set intentions of love, that that energy moves out before me, and as it reaches people, they feel that love from me. Right? I put intentions into that bubble of energy, that signs of synchronicity begin to show up for me on my path of ascension. And then as you expand it even more and you're bringing more of this energy in, I now set the intention into that bubble of energy that goes out before me, that it ushers in this beautiful new age, and that it helps to transfigure all those that it comes in contact with. Do you see? So there's so much you can be doing with that energy.
Yes, and consciously being open to it. When you were speaking earlier about your process and the ascension process, there has to be a conscious level to it. Would you agree? Or do you feel that some people are going through this process and may not be aware of exactly what's happening?
So, that's a really interesting question. And so many people, I think that's why I named my book, You're Not Crazy, You're Awakening, because so many people don't realize that there is something afoot, right? And they may be having experiences that they can't explain. So for some, they may actually be in this process and not know the names of it, not know exactly what's going on, and yet be really deep into having experiences that they don't even understand what they mean. So I would say yes, that probably is definitely so. But to fully embrace it, one must become conscious. And, you have to consciously choose ascension. You don't just, even though your soul says, yes, you're ascending, you must consciously choose, you must consciously awaken, you must consciously get off autopilot, and eventually you must consciously know what's going on, because you have to become a conscious creator and a master. So even in the beginning, if you're not understanding it all and knowing what's going on, you eventually, to travel the path, must do so consciously.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called awakening.
Yes. And it also means becoming conscious of being unconscious. Yes,
correct.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, we are looking forward to a special ceremony from you, an activation, and the beautiful clearing that you work with. So can you feel into our global group, hearts all over the world, almost 200 of us at the moment, and feel what would be in the best interest for us as a collective?
Okay. So the first thing that I'm feeling is, I share these experiences with you not for you to compare. So that's the first thing that I'm feeling. People are feeling like, wow, that's so cool. Why am I not having this type of experience? So I want you to cancel and clear that word not, right? Because you're going to have your own experience, however perfect it is. And so I just share with you to let you know that ascension is real and that you're not crazy. You are, in fact, awakening, and you are stepping more into your God power. So clear the doubt and clear the need to compare notes. You don't have to. There we go. That was a nice little shift. And so for those who are here, just know you're here, right? You're in the present. You're hearing this. You're getting it. And you all have chosen to ascend. So exactly where you are is perfect. You're not broke. And in time, you will move through whatever process you must move through. So we're going to do some work, and let me just tap into where most of it needs to be. All right, so we're just going to go for it. Everyone who's able, just get comfortable. Close your eyes. And let's take a nice long breath in. And out. And I'm starting to feel heavy energies. Take another long breath in. And out. Once more in. And out. Oyakaso ashamakatana sadikotosha sasaya shamakatana ikutuasa. So I'm going to move to your heart space first. And just allow this beautiful cosmic energy of love, beautiful pink energy, to move into your heart. And it's going to move into every cell, every molecule. And now I want you to see this tiny little space in your heart that's way up at the top of your heart. And just allow yourself to float up into that space. Shift a little bit to the left and in. Now this is the tiny sacred space where one's consciousness should be. So be there. Become one with the sacred space of your heart. Feel all the love the Creator has for you. Allow that love to come in like golden rays of sunshine. That's illumination. Pink rays of cosmic love. See green rays of healing and abundance. See the violet flame of transmutation. And allow all these rays to move into your heart. Fuyasa, Immaculate, Mononuasa. There we go. Nice shift there. Feel all the love and the gratitude that you feel for the Creator. And I want you to put your love in a beautiful pink bubble and send that bubble from your heart all the way up to the Creator. Then it just floats up, up, up. There we go. And is absorbed by the Creator. Now in this sacred space of your heart, with all of these divine aspects flooding your heart, and with the Creator feeling and knowing your heart and your love, I want you to release those doubts that say you're not good enough. Release those doubts that say you're not on your path. Release those doubts that question, am I getting it right or wrong? So we bring up duality and we clear it. For it's an illusion. We bring up polarity and we clear it. For it's an illusion. It's only a lower vibrational experience. And so let's surrender those experiences that you are ready to give up, those stories of dis-ease. Release it. Those stories of lack, of poverty consciousness, those stories of not being loved enough. And feel all of those energies as the violet flame takes them and transmutes them out. All of those energies of that struggle, of why you're not getting your stuff. Clear it. Put it into the violet flame. Even if you want, you can see yourself in the space of your heart writing those words, those limiting words, your storied headings. Write it down on a piece of paper and put it into the violet flame. So write it down, lack, and put it into the violet flame. Write it down, limitation, and put it into the violet flame. Dis-ease into the violet flame. Disharmony into the violet flame. Judgment into the violet flame. Shame into the violet flame. Poverty consciousness into the violet flame. Illness into the violet flame. Guilt into the violet flame. And now allow those other rays, cosmic pink and green and golden, to replace all of those energies you just released. So that beautiful green energy filled with health and abundance. We fill your heart space, and then we allow it to move out to every cell, every molecule, bringing you into harmony and balance. We take that beautiful golden energy of illumination, enlightenment, you see, and that energy moves out to every cell, every molecule of your body. You know the answers. They are within you. Let's engage your intuition, your knowing. There we go. Now I'm going to move to your crown chakra. Makoto asa, imanoshi asa. And we're going to open up your crown to receive higher frequencies of your light bodies. And what you are ready to receive with grace and ease flows into you now. I'm going to activate DNA strands within. Imokoto asa, imonoshi asa, mokoto asa, imonoshi asa, mokoto asa. And any resistance you have at these higher levels, let it go. Release the fear. You are safe to step into your power. You are safe to be seen. There we go. There we go. And feel that energy of your God cord from your crown moving out into the cosmos through those layers and levels and realms of your existence, beyond, beyond. And feel that connection now to Source, to Universal God. And see your spark there, close to Source, waiting for you. And you get a glimmer of that divine spark. You might see it as a golden being. You might see it as just a brilliant, blinding light. But that is you. And through divine grace, we're going to receive cosmic love and energies, not only from Source, but from your spark, that this divine essence begins to move closer to you as you invite, allow, and anchor higher aspects to yourself in your thoughts, your words, your meditations, your creations. As this higher aspect, this point of light that is you, begins to send frequencies, fire letters, and codes. There we go. To turn on your neurons, your DNA, to calibrate, and to place you on your path of ascension more firmly. And let's just also call in that first ray of God, divine will. It's beautiful and blue. And we bring that energy down to move into every cell, every molecule, and every chakra, so that you can more easily surrender to divine will. And it's also for protection, that now you are sealed in this heavenly light. And that nothing and no one can now pull you off your mark. Ayamakoto asa, ikoto asa, imanushi asa, ayamakoto anoshipasa. Feel that energy as it expands within every cell, every molecule, and every chakra. And now I'm going to go down to your Earth Star chakra beneath your feet, so that we can take all of this energy and anchor it in. So feel that chakra below your feet as it's on, balanced, and it sends a beautiful golden white cord down into the core of the crystalline Mother Earth. And all that excess energy that is flowing through you moves down through that cord into the Divine Mother with so much love. And the Divine Mother has so much love for you, her children, that she sends up crystalline energy. And feel that energy as it moves up that cord, balancing, expanding within you at your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart. Your throat. Your causal chakra. Your third eye. And your crown. Just allow those energies to settle into you. Feel the electricity of it pulsing through your fingertips, your crown. Anywhere where you feel it, it's divine and perfect. When you're ready, move back into your breath. Be in that space of your heart. Breathe from your heart. And open your eyes. We are complete.
You know, we can feel a significant shift with that. So incredible that I think you've helped those who came here with specific questions. Tapping into this inner light really brings about this incredible knowingness, and it really fortifies us and really adds ease and grace. Wow, and I know I can speak for many who really, really enjoyed that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And know that as we are here on this call, that it continues. I can feel it. So it's it's still working. I may not be speaking to it directly, but it is still working to clear and to calibrate and to raise those frequencies. So it's beautiful. And after this, just drink lots of water and go into that space of gratitude and just love and appreciation that you have for the Creator. Indeed.
Yes. Yes, yes. And you mentioned the water. I want to share that when we were doing the online healing retreat, which that is in the special offer, and it's incredible. I drank an incredible amount of water, and it was to the point where I was actually thirsty, so I waited a little bit too long before the water, but that was fascinating, I thought. And we were really clearing a lot of stuff in that one. So,
absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was major.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was major. That was amazing and beautiful. There we go. And there was another shift for everyone. So just feel that expansion. There we go.
Yes.
Yes, that feels better.
And so when you do personal sessions, this is what you experience or bring forth as well for that individual in front of you. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, goodness, yes. So, so many things can happen. And quite honestly, it is wherever you are is divine and perfect. And, it's so funny. People want to come with their stories, and quite honestly, they don't matter because that's the old you. And that's what we're letting go of. And it will show up. If that is ready to be released, trust me, it's going to show up and it will be released. And so wherever you are, whatever is ready to come up and to be done with comes up. And so, for an example, of course I'm going to always work on chakras because it's so important that they open. They must stay open and balanced, because if you can't get those chakras, these 7 basic chakras, 8 basic chakras, 9 basic chakras to stay balanced and open, then there's no way we can open up the 10, 11, 12, the 13, all of these other chakras, right? So constantly in the clearing and the balancing of these chakras. Plus there are emotions and there are things trapped to each of these chakras, keeping them shut. So it's also a process of clearing the emotion behind what that chakra, why it's being shut down and can't stay open and balanced. So we're going to do that. And then your story shows up. So it might be that little girl who didn't feel enough love and didn't have a voice as a child and wasn't able to express self. So all that's going to show up. And so we clear that resistance out. There might be a previous lifetime where you were persecuted for being gifted, and so you're afraid to step into your power and to step forward because subconsciously you're like, well, if I do it again, you know what's going to happen, so I'm not going to do it. And so we have to then work on those energies as well. And then you may have taken a vow of poverty in a lifetime and wondering why you seem to still be in lack and limitation. So we have to cancel and clear that vow you made in that previous lifetime of poverty so that you can move into abundance. There may be something causing dis-ease within your body, and there's pressure, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. So there may be some dis-ease within you that's creating illness, and it's showing up as that. So we can work with that. So there's a gamut of things that we can clear, but then as we do that, we begin to raise your vibrations. And the more we can raise your vibration and the more you can sustain higher vibrations, higher frequencies, then the closer you get to your light body. And for those who are ready, their light bodies will appear and move right in. So it's just a process, and I don't know when that's going to occur, right? But I work with your team, and we do the work to prepare you, to calibrate you, and to get you in alignment of.
Okay, so that is a personal attention that you will give and that you offer. And so that is also included in your special offer. And then one more thing, and we can go to our beautiful callers who have a couple of questions. We can take a few questions this evening. But there's also the Awakened Heart, and that does include your book and some other audio programs. So both of these options are really beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Edwige.
You're welcome. You know, the thing is, it really is about getting it this time. You know, there's been so much that has happened lifetime after lifetime, but this is the one, really the one where we get it. And so all of these tools that I've created have been things that, you know, Spirit has given me, and they work, or I wouldn't be disappearing. They work. And so I share in my book all sorts of tools that you can use so that you can be your master, your guru. And that's what the process is. So getting into your head, reprogramming your subconscious, because understanding there are two ways of awakening, having that near-death experience or reprogramming your subconscious. And so what does that look like? And truly, these tools are giving you the answers. These tools aren't leading you to go out and have to buy something else. These tools are giving you the answers to do the work.
That is really fascinating what you said there, because one of the things I've noticed is that people with their near-death experiences, wow, that is like par for the course for their awakening. But what you just said there is we don't have to have a near-death experience. We can reprogram, and that's really the ease and grace way, is to be aware of our belief systems that limit us so that we can clear them, which you help us do.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I help you do. I help clear those energies, because a lot of those energies you don't have access to clearing. You know, some of them are really deep, and so you're not able to clear them yourselves, and hence why there are people like myself that can do that for you, or to bring them to your attention. Some people don't even know that there is an issue. You know, I'll never forget this one particular person that I worked on, and all of a sudden I see a little girl standing in a corner, their face to the corner. And I said, oh, what were you doing at 5 years old? Why are you standing in the corner? And she didn't even remember. And then finally she said, oh, my goodness, I had a visitation. And she didn't know what to make of it. You know, again, she was getting a visit from beyond. And she told her mother, and her mother told her that that was crazy and no. And so she ran to this corner where she was fearful that she was doing something wrong, you see. And so that was the seed that pushed it all away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of, that's why you shut down. So now let's clear it and give yourself permission to reawaken who you are. This divine gifted being. So amazing things like that happen. I've had the divine goddess walk in. I mean, you name it. It's just phenomenal what will happen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is in your special offer. We invite everyone to check that out because it's a really great value. So enjoy that. And again, thank you, Edwige. So let's go to our phone line. We have time for a few callers, and it could be a general question, and I know people have personal questions too, but that does tend to work for all of us as we have learned from other sessions with you. So we're headed to Sedona, Arizona. The last numbers of the phone number, 4391. Hello, you're unmuted. What's your name, please?
Hello, my name is Kate. Thank you so much to both of you for taking my call. And the meditation that we did was so wonderful. It just brought tears to my eyes, and it was really wonderful. And I was just wondering if maybe Dr. Edwidge could see if I have any blocks to connecting with my guidance or from spirit, or I feel like I have some old depression that I've carried that I just can't seem to clear, and I just feel a little bit blocked from healing or moving forward with intuition.
Yeah, it already started shaking my heart for saying it. So yeah, there definitely are blocks, you know, and there's only so much we can do, and just there's an ease of definitely some of it. You should feel that. So yeah, you have work to do as far as letting go and changing your perception of self and how you see yourself moving forward. There we go. There was another little release. Whew. There you have it.
Thank you so much. And the cat, my friend's cat, was coming over to the phone when I was talking from your voice. So thank you so much.
Pretty amazing. You're welcome. You should feel a little lighter.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And I'm going to get your offer. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. You know that your cat, your friend's cat is, they can totally see this energy. Wouldn't you say, Edwige?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. It's so funny. You know, I live in a beautiful gated community, and there's this cat. I don't know whose home he belongs to because I don't think he lives on this street, okay? And yet I will see him squeeze through my gate, step onto the wall around my property, and then come into the backyard and sit in my backyard looking up under the chair outside at me. And I'm like, well, hello, and yes, I see you.
Yeah, they know. They can sense it. They feel it. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And so
funny.
when you're doing personal sessions and you're on Skype and video and you see cats and animals cross, they must appear on that one too.
Yes, they'll come right in and they'll get on the person's lap, and they're like, they never come around. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I'm like, yeah, so it's amusing, but yeah, they definitely show up, and that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I'll never forget this one particular lady. She's an esthetician, and so I would go to her home. She actually had her practice in her home, and I would go to her home, and she had, you know, those larger poodles, beautiful, beautiful dog, beige, just beautiful. His name is Charlie. And Charlie would never come to anyone. And yet, as soon as I stepped in her house, all of a sudden, he came into the room. And she's like, but he never does this. And Charlie sat in front of me and literally stared at me. And she's like, Charlie, move, move. And Charlie would make noise because Charlie didn't want to move. And then Charlie moved under the table where I was laying and wouldn't move, and she'd pull him out of the room, right, and close the door, and then he'd be on the other side of the door whining because he didn't want to be on the other side of the door. And as soon as she opened the door and I got up to go outside and sit in her living room, Charlie would come and put his paw on my leg and look at me. She's like, this is crazy. He doesn't do this to anyone, not even us.
Oh, wow. Yes, he loves that. He just wants more of it. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just amazing. Just amazing. It's like, wow, you can just feel, you know, his heart. And, yeah, it's so beautiful. It really is.
Oh, okay. Well, some questions from our webcast folks. Martha in Lisbon would like to know what you have to say about Pleiadians being the one that placed the divine seed in us humans.
Well, you know, quite honestly, and I only can speak from my knowing, I don't know all the names of all the races because we've been seeded so many times, I believe somewhere between 7 and 12 times. So if they did, that's wonderful. All I know is, you know, they had these races that came and seeded us and put negative things in us like the reptilians, and then they had races that came in and seeded us, and now they're back. The Pleiadians happen to be one who are here to make right some of the things that were done early on. And so that's about what I know about Pleiadians. You know, I'm not stuck on names and groups of ETs. And their part in it because there have been so many different seedings of races, and so really that's about all I can really comment on it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So Margaret says that during that process, that meditation, she felt very connected with her heart space, and that you actually showed her a panel in front of her, and it looked like a pinky rose bulbs, half circles on a board, and she was about to put her hands on it, or she was supposed to put her hands on it. She says it was very bizarre. Then when you said go to bottom of feet, she already had grounded with Mother Earth in the center, and she saw bluish tones streaming out. Her question is, what was that?
Like I know.
Yeah.
You know, it's, again, does that not speak to whatever you need in that moment is provided to you? And so you were seeing cosmic love. You were seeing, oh my gosh, divine will. You were seeing these colors, these energies, these principles that are energies that are ready to move into you.
Very interesting. Okay. So pay attention, everyone. It's not your imagination. It is what you see. Okay. Carla has a question, and I know that others resonate to this and have a similar feeling. When we hear the word Lemuria, in my own life, I would melt every time I heard that word, and it was like a great calling. Carla says to her, it's like an inner knowing, and until not long ago, had no awareness that such a place existed. Do you have any suggestions?
As far as?
Well, then she says years ago a language came to her, and now it's starting to come back. And the grade school she went to was called Ascension. Maybe that's a hint, she says. So yeah, so this interconnection with Lemuria, that, as you said earlier in our session, remove all doubt. If we feel connected to Lemuria, we definitely
because you were
part
from
of it.
there. Correct. You actually had an incarnation there. And in that place, you are a seventh dimensional being. You are a higher dimensional being, right? That was a beautiful golden age. And so just know that, and that this is the lifetime where you will remember and you will awaken, and it is your choice in this lifetime and your soul's choice for you to ascend. So acknowledge that first, that these signs of synchronicity have not been just odd things, but signs of synchronicity to show you the truth of that and who you are. Now, with that knowing, it's time to step up to the plate and do the work to tap into you as a spiritual being.
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. Stepping up to the plate to do that work. Yes. Now, let's go to our phone line once again, and this time, looks like Beverly Hills, California, 0710. Last numbers of the phone number. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, Yvette. Hi.
Hi, Yvette.
Yes, yeah, how are you both? Thank you
Good.
for taking my call. I have this question I just sent. I've been going through a lot of traumatic things recently. It's just very, very strange. And because the incidents are so repetitive or weird, some people seem to think that I'm like, it's in my mind, it's mental, how could these things happen? And sometimes I feel like I'm endangered and nobody believes me. So what seems to be going on with all these patterns of trauma?
So I'm having trouble hearing you clearly, but so there are things going on that people don't believe are happening to you? Is that what you said?
Yes.
So what
and
are
you
these
say that they're traumatic too.
Yes,
right.
they are, and they're
Mm-hmm.
very, painful because they're so traumatic that, people don't believe me because, repetitive things, like things that are so bad,
Like what, for example? Something,
like,
not...
Yeah, like someone taking my possessions, stealing my stuff, and it's happened more than once, and they don't want to, hear about it, and it's happening, I believe, right now.
So when you say taking your stuff, someone stole your things? I'm trying to understand more fully.
Yeah, entering into my space, my home, and taking stuff.
And so your friends, your family, they don't believe that you were robbed?
Right, they don't. So I want to know if it's true because they think it's in my mind.
So if your things were taken, they were taken, how that would not be a figment of your imagination.
Well, they want to believe that I'm not all because, I seem to know a lot of stuff just by knowing. And so they don't believe that I am like normal. And so what do you see? Well, what do you see that's happening,
So, what came to me early was the darkest night of the soul. And so it feels like you're actually going through this process. And in that darkest night of the soul, which could last for days, could last for years, for anyone wanting to know, that's when we're going to the lower stages of consciousness and we're moving from the darkened age to enlightenment. And in that space is where all this craziness can take place, just depending on who you are and what's going on. And in that space, though, that's where you have your fork in the road, right? And so you have to begin to step into your power and what is your truth. And when you begin to do that, then the world is going to crumble around you because those people who you thought had your back may not. You may find yourself moving from a country, from a spouse, from a job, whatever it looks like. It's about letting go of all that no longer serves you and beginning to step more into your power and your truth. So if those people in your circle don't support and serve you, then that's nothing to do with, how do I say it? You have to begin to get a backbone and not care. Does that make sense?
100%. I try to not care, but these are like family, and they're the ones during this dark night of the soul. They're the ones who are probably whose support might be important at this point, and so they have to say, and they say what they want to say, and so
and
it's
what a
difficult.
test. But hear this. So this is how you chose. Whoa! This is how you chose on the other side to have your awakening. Because you wanted to have your voice and find your voice through this. They control you because they have the purse strings. And so how do you find your voice and your way through this is how you chose to have your awakening and your expansion. So this is sort of like, and I don't want to say a test because it's not, but this is what you will have to work through. Do you see? And on this other side, you will find your voice. You will have your power. Feel that shift. And you will awaken.
Wow. Wow, you blew that one in my throat.
How does that feel?
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Your words are so powerful. I mean, like they're actually like resonating right now. It's just like I'm so excited because this is like beyond dark. It's pitch, and it's been going on for a couple of years. And I think the support is what is. They want to let go of that support. They want to just be gone with it, and so whatever excuses that they can make, they will. So that's the.
So it's about.
So how do I?
Your power and taking care of self. There we go. That was a nice little clearing. There we go. So it's about finding your own power, your own way.
That's what I want most right now.
So then that's what you give energy and thought to and begin to create that for yourself. And what does that look like? So it's time for you to have that dream and allow that energy of that to move into you and that be your focus. Because what someone has to say or their opinion is like water on a backed duck. Does that make sense? Water on a duck's back. There we go. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Yes. I think that's a good message. I think it's easier said than done, but I think that...
But that's what you chose to experience in this lifetime to get through for your awakening.
And I'll get through it, you think? I mean, like, in one piece? With my brain back and my functioning back?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. I appreciate it.
There we go. Another shift just happened. Are you ready to step in your power?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you give yourself permission to call back your power?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's bring some of it back. There we go. And this is for everyone who feels they don't have a voice. We're bringing back some of your power.
Thank you, Dr. Edwige, for this wonderful call. And we invite listeners to check out your special offer and get a personal session with you and absolutely take that Ascension Transformation online healing retreat. It was really significant in assisting us all in moving forward on this path. Edwige, as we say goodbye, I know maybe there's a comment or some light language from you.
Of course, there's always the light language. She loves to speak. So let's just clear any final remnants that are ready to be released that have been holding on. Breathe in and let them go. Imakutuasa, Ishabakatana Keteasa, Ikuasa. Step into your power. Allow yourself to be who you are being called to be, regardless of what appearances may look like. They do not matter. All that matters that you are here to serve the light. Akutuasa, Ikutuasa, Imakutunasha. You are love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Edwige, for this quantum conversation. Thank you, too, for listening and sharing in this space today. We leave you now with music from the universe, literally sacred geometry of music, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com.